Welcome to my very first Transformers post on my brand new Transformers channel. So, as you might have guessed, as a Transformers channel, I might be a Transformers fan. I've been a Transformers fan since day one. I definitely caught the very first airing that it was in my local area, and I fell in love with Transformers immediately. It took me literally no time to fall in love with Optimus Prime and all of the Autobots. That being said, the Decepticons definitely had some of the coolest toys back in the day. But definitely Prime was my man. Um, in these videos, I'm basically going to take you through the journey. I'm actually going to kind of start off with Skytread, also known as Flywheel. Gotta love the names changing. It just confuses me sometimes. He was the very last Transformer I ever got. So I don't really transform my toys. I don't really do any of that. But I do want to start off by talking about him in a little bit, just because I have an emotional attachment to him due to the fact that he was the very last Transformer as a child that I got. Obviously, as a child, you never know that that's the last one you're ever going to get. But one of the things, again, about the emotional journey on it, and that's why I kind of thought he was an appropriate Transformer to start off with and have a conversation about, due to the fact that I loved Transformers that looked the way they were supposed to look in the cartoon. I was so disappointed when the series ended as a 9 or 10-year-old, however old I was, because, some cool toys like this were coming out, and you saw him in the opener, and then you got through the first part of the 3 episodes of Rebirth, and I was like waiting for some of these new characters to start showing up. I saw them on the opening credits, and the series was over. So definitely an emotional roller coaster with this guy. That being said, I do love the reimagination that Hasbro has done, and they've done a phenomenal job of modernizing, but yet keeping them very similar to the cartoon and very similar to the original toys. So this is a great example of what I basically value. I value the sentimental. I value the remolding and reimagining of some of those classic toys. I'm using some of those ones as my examples, but as you'll be able to see from behind me, I'm more of a masterpiece collector. I fell in love with fans toys pretty much day one when the Dinobots first started coming out. I remember when the first couple trickled out, I had to get them. Um, I was still collecting everything. I was still collecting guys like this, which I know he came out much, much later. But I was still kind of keeping some of the Transformers from Hasbro. So I didn't really like third parties, but fans toys made me fall in love with third party. And now basically, I'm not going to say I exclusively collect fans toys, but with the price of everything and everything like that, I've narrowed it down to those are my favorites. I'm just going to focus on them. Plus, Hasbro's really dropped the ball on their masterpiece, kind of discontinued it, so to speak. And they just only wanted to put out more Seekers that were different and also new versions of the same old toys, which kind of lost my interest in Hasbro. But that being said, I love my Transformers. Anything that can make you feel good in life, anything that can make you enjoy or you look at and brings excitement to your life is worth the hobby. So I hope you come along with me on this journey as I talk about my different Transformers and what they mean to me. And honestly, I do hope to have it as a little bit of a discussion. I'd love to hear in the comments people that have similar feelings or that toy means something different to them. I would love to see that in the comments. So let's try to make this a little bit interactive. And again, I'm really just talking about the emotions that the toys bring me. And I started off with this guy because he was my very last. And there's something special about your first and your last. Next video will definitely be reminiscent of my very first.